Shame on you. Shame on you. Hey platform, it's Rowan, and today we're going to be doing something that we've actually never done on this channel, but that I'm obsessed with. It is tier ranking. I don't know why we've never done this before. So as the title suggests, we are going to be tier ranking reader sins or bookish pet peeves, whatever you want to call them. Maybe I should put a disclaimer here. I do not represent Penguin the brand or the company. It is just me and my thoughts, so feel free to fight with me in the comments. So here are the tiers that I've come up with. The first one at the bottom is quite good actually. This is for any pet peeve that I believe probably isn't a pet peeve or a sin. It's probably absolutely fine. The next tier up is might be forgiven. So this is like, it's not good, but like we might forgive you. You made a mistake. It's not great, but it's like not the worst thing in the world. The middle one is kind of an interesting tier. It is could go either way. So that means that there are certain circumstances where it could be a good thing or a bad thing. We're not really sure. It all depends on, you know, the circumstances surrounding the action itself. Physically painful, I have a feeling that a lot of them are going to be in that category. And then finally we have the top tier, a crime. An actual criminal offence has been committed by my judgment. So without further ado, we're going to start with cracking a spine. So I think that this is straight away, I'm going to take this and put it in the physically painful category. There is just something about the sound, just even imagining the sound of a cracked spine. No, thank you. I feel obliged at this point to point out, this is my copy of one of my favorite books of all time. And it's not looking the best it's ever been. I've somehow managed to not only crack the spine, but crack the front cover. So I'm not free from the guilt and shame of this. But yes, cracking the spine is still physically painful, even though I've clearly done it before. Next, we are going to do writing in books. I am going to put into the category quite good, actually. Oh, controversial, I know. But I just think writing in a book can add something. Like how cool would it be to then go back and reread it and see your notes from like the first time you ever read the book that you love? How cool would that be? Or like you get a book secondhand and you see other people's thoughts about what they've written. Amazing. Sometimes miss like my books I would have at school or at university, which had been like written all over and stuff highlighted and like points that I'd like figured out in the moment, like, oh my God, that's the same as that scene, or like, oh, this must be about this character or something like that. I think that's actually quite good. So I don't know if any of these other ones are going to be in the quite good actually column. I kind of put that in there just in case and wasn't sure if I was going to put anything in that row, but I think I'm going to put that there. So the next one we're going to do is, so this is illustrated very helpfully by the stock image clip art of a book saying, "Help, I'm lost," which is if you lose a book that someone has let you borrow. I'm going to put this in might be forgiven, because here's the thing, no one loses a book on purpose, right? Like a lot of these things are things that you have to deliberately decide to do. No one's deliberately like losing your book. I've left books on the tube before. I've definitely lost books, but I lost a book once about 5 minutes after I bought it. So I feel like, you know, it's an honest mistake. And wait, okay, so here's why I'm hesitating over where I'm gonna put this, because even though it is an accident, and for most books, it really wouldn't matter. If it is a book that's like signed or one of a kind or really special because it was like a gift from a loved one or something like that, like you can't just replace it if it's been lost. So that is kind of bad. But I have said might be forgiven, not will be forgiven. So we're gonna leave it on might be forgiven because that's up to the person who's let you borrow it. And some people might argue, not me, but some people might argue, if you have a book that's that precious, don't lend it to anyone. I'll leave that there for you to chew over in the comments. Our next one, absolutely, our first crime, no hesitation. It is stickers on books that don't come off properly. Why? Why is that? What is so annoying about that is it's like a thing that was so unnecessary. And like you go into a bookshop, every single copy of that book is gonna have that sticker on. There's no escaping it. Absolutely a crime. Horrendous. No thank you. And you can't like make it, you can't like wet the book like you can if you have like a sticker on the bottom of a plate or something to try and like wash the sticker off. You just have to deal with it. And you have that moment of like, you begin to peel a sticker off and it's almost sometimes like when you start and it goes wrong, it's almost worse than if you just left it there to begin with. A crime, immediately a crime. Okay, the next one, okay, this is one that I definitely remember was from Instagram because I remember reading it and being like, people do this, but apparently it's a thing because more than one person suggested it. And it is treating library books badly just because they don't belong to you. Immediately a crime. I just think that is so mean to like, why would anyone do that? Because those books could be like in that library for years. They could be, there are some books in libraries, I swear have been there for like 100 years at this point, and other people could benefit from them. Like, you aren't the only person who's gonna read it, and just because it's not yours, sometimes like stuff happens to books accidentally. You might like trip over it and like bend the pages or something, and like it sucks, but it's a mistake. But like deliberately being careless with the book because it's not yours, no, can't relate, no thank you. Okay, right, next one. Telling someone spoilers for a book that they're reading. This, I think, is gonna be my first, could go either way. I think it's all about your intention with this one. If you're deliberately trying to spoil someone because you are just mean, or you think it'll be funny, can't be doing with it, no thank you, that is bad. But if you just do it accidentally, like you think that you remember them like already having read the book, and you've like just read it and you're really excited about it, and you start telling them about it, and then you realize they haven't read it before, it sucks, but it's like not deliberate. It's a mistake, and you're probably going to be completely mortified afterwards. So we're currently reading Are You Watching for the Platform Book Club. If you don't know about the book club, the details are below. We have a Discord, it's very fun. We do live interviews with the authors every month where you get to ask them questions. It's very cool. Everyone's been posting in Discord like as they're reading it, and like tagging their spoilers with the page, and then like hiding the spoilers, so you have to click on it to actually see it, which has like been so fun. But I realized too late that my Kindle, as I was reading it, had messed up the pages. So I accidentally clicked on something and like got spoiled for it without realizing. And that's like no one's fault, you know what I mean? Like someone has technically spoiled me, but like no one was at fault there. That was, well, apart from my Kindle app. But other than that, like it was an honest mistake. So could go either way on that front. Okay, the next one I think is going to be controversial. I feel like people are gonna have strong opinions about this. I don't care. So I am putting this in the could go either way section, and this is buying the like motion picture film movie cover of a book. And here is why. I chose this deliberately. I made this little graphic that's half of the Great Gatsby OG front cover and half the Great Gatsby Baz Luhrmann front cover. I'm just gonna say it, that original front cover of Great Gatsby is ugly. I'm sorry, it's not nice. I don't like the look of it. It's just not my cup of tea. I would definitely prefer the other cover. And I know that like for Gatsby that's been out for a long time, like there's probably multiple covers to choose from, but sometimes you have a front cover of a book that just doesn't vibe with you initially. And then you have this second front cover of a movie, especially if it's a movie that you enjoy, and you actually maybe prefer that front cover. So I think it could go either way. Maybe it's more likely that you're gonna enjoy the actual front cover than the movie front cover most of the time. But it is possible. It is possible that there will be a movie front cover that you will like. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Although I also have been looking around and I don't think I have the movie front cover of like almost any book, but I think it's probably because I normally will have bought the book before the movies come out. Because if there's like a movie that I'm thinking, oh, that sounds interesting, I'll try and buy the book before I see the movie for it. I'm like scanning my shelves. Or it's like books that don't have movie adaptations, which is also a lot of them that I have. It's something that I don't even do and I'm saying it's fine. Okay, the next one, I'm just very pleased with the picture that I chose from this. It is a painting of, that you've probably seen before, of like a woman in a train carriage and a man is like peering over and like bothering her when she clearly doesn't want to be bothered. And this is my little picture symbol that I chose for reading over someone's shoulder. We are gonna put this in could go either way, and here is why. I think that this actually is like really far apart on the scale of like, depending on the circumstances. If you are with someone, with a friend, and you're reading the same thing and you've both decided that you want to do it, and maybe it's like a book that you both really like that you're reading and you want to read the end together, or maybe you're like reading with a little kid or something. There's so many reasons why you would be reading a book at the same time as someone else. So like inherently reading a book over someone's shoulder is not the end of the world. However, a stranger trying to read a book over your shoulder, even before 2020, not on board with it, even less now. But like, no, someone that you don't know trying to, like, if someone's not being like super close about it, if you just like, I've glanced before, if someone's reading a book, I've glanced to like see what they're reading just because I'm curious, especially if they're like laughing or they're looking quite like intensely at it. I'm like, oh, like maybe that's a good book, I'll have a little look. But I'm not gonna just keep reading the book over their shoulder, especially not if they can like, you can sense when people are doing that and it's like, oh, it's weird. Okay, we have another physically painful one, and that is dropping a book in some water. Just, it's never the same. It's never the same. You could put 100 elephants on that book and it would not flatten out properly in the end. It just, the wavy pages, it's not a good look. It is not a good look at all. Physically painful, makes me cringe, no question, that's where it's going. The next one is another one that, you know what, is a crime. I've picked out here some books that don't illustrate this crime because the books are all, you know, the same covers in a series. But this crime is the crime of when publishers change book front covers in a series, halfway through the series, especially if it's a long series and you've been collecting them over years, and then suddenly they're like, joke's on you, we're not actually finishing this look, we're going with a different cover design. A crime, an actual crime. Can you just, oh, because then you've either got to have 2 different sets of books in one series, or you've got to go out and buy the other books just so it looks okay again. A crime. Similarly to that one, I found this picture of a delightful medieval book shaped like a heart, but this one I'm gonna say could go either way for, which is books that are a weird shape. So I will say again, if this is an absolute crime, if this is books in the same series and then suddenly they come out with a different like sized paperback or whatever, hate that. I'm even like feel a bit icky about if I have some books and like I have one book that's hardback and then I have the rest of them in paperback. That is still too much for me, but deliberately having a different size paperback or a different size hardback for the same series, no thank you. But there are some books that work really nicely as like a different size. Maybe they're like I have some down here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so like I have this book from the BFI, which is a cinema book. It's like a big book. It has these like beautiful illustrations, photos, loads of essay stuff in it. Like, I want this to be a fun, fancy, big, like hearty book. Hearty, is that a word for a book? It is now. That I can like put on a table and flick through and like see the photos properly and like open all the way up. So I think that like weirdly shaped books in that way don't really matter. So could go either way for me. Oh, how controversial am I gonna be with this one? You know what? I make no apologies. I'm putting this in quite good actually. Folding pages over. Yeah, there, I said it. Folding the pages over to keep your page. It's genius. You don't have to have anything else on you. You could just like wander in the summer fields with a book and then just fold the page over. You don't need to remember the page number. You don't need to like have rumblage around in your pockets trying to find a receipt. It's fine. It doesn't really make a difference. It's okay. You'll survive. And it's good. It's good that you've kept your place and that you're not gonna lose it. Yeah, I'm sticking with it. It's so there. So many people are gonna disagree with that one. That might be the most disagreed with one. Okay, for the last one, I have picked a picture of an actual burglar, which is very fitting because again, I classify this as a crime, and this is stealing someone's book. So not like going into Waterstones and just like making off with like a bag of books, but like if someone has let you borrow their book and you like deliberately don't give it back to them, no. How dare you? This was another one suggested on Instagram. I don't know who your friends are who are stealing your books. Get them out of here. Like I often forget who I've let borrow stuff. I know that I've let someone borrow it and I always forget who it is. I just need that, you know, you just need people to be honest with you. If you're deliberately like, yeah, not returning a book and not telling someone that you have their book when they're looking for it, or they might be wondering where it is, shame on you. Shame on you. So we have reached the end of the list, our final one. I had to save this to last because it is so wild. I did like, if this had not been a thing that someone voluntarily had told people that they did on the internet, I would not have believed it. Just wild and a crime. It is both a crime and physically painful. It is that threshold. I almost feel like it needs a tier on its own above. I'm gonna put it right at the top of a crime. I don't know if you guys saw this. It might have been making its rounds on like Tumblr, on Twitter. This guy, when he wants to read a book, where he might want to like read a book on his commute or like out for a walk or whatever, instead of just bringing the book with him like anyone else on the planet Earth, he takes a scalpel and he just cuts the book into however big of a section he thinks he'll read or that he can carry in his pocket or whatever. And he'll just keep doing it. He'll just have like a quarter of a book. He'll just walk around with a quarter of a book. A crime. I'm sorry. I'm not super big on like, you know, the sanctity of books are special, whatever. Like they're just pages and they just help you, like, they just help convey a story to you. But just the idea of just slicing a book in half to make it easier to read, just bring a bag, man. I think the reason why this one is like so bad for me is because with the other ones, like even if you drop it in water, even if you crack the spine, like it's still something that like you could then give to someone else, right? You could like donate it to a charity shop, you could give it to a friend who wants to read it. Like I oftentimes will like churn through my books. I don't like keep all of my books forever. There's like a select few that I've kept through the years that I really, really enjoy or that have a sentimental value to me, but on the most part I want to like give them to someone. Can you imagine someone giving you just like 4 books, but it's 1 book? It's just a pile of loose pages. Because I must, like, there's no way, because you'd have to like duct tape up the sides to make sure all of the pages didn't fall out, and I'd be so nervous that pages would be muddled up, and Oh no, it's a crime. It's 100% a crime. That's it. What a one to end on, but it's top of the list. I've actually there's quite a lot of them looking at this list that are now a crime. I think I thought I was gonna be more chill on this list, but I really feel like you gotta call them what they are. A crime against books. So that is the end of the tier ranking. I'm going to leave a link to this kind of tier ranking maker that I've made in the description. If you want to do your own video or post on social with your order of these ranking these book pet peeves, please do so, because we really want to see what you come up with, whether you agree or disagree with us. We would love to know. And if you've enjoyed this tier ranking video and want to see us do more of them, please let us know in the comments like what kind of bookish stuff you want us to tier rank next, because this has been very fun to film and hopefully fun to watch as well. And as always, you can subscribe to the platform YouTube channel for new bookish videos every single week.